Guys, we've got the Max Slash on the bench, and today we're going to be doing a bunch of upgrades, including steel CVDs, hot racing battery hold down, Pro Modeler servo, hot racing servo saver, Traxxas aluminum hubs and knuckles, Proline shocks, and we're going 8S with a Max 6 ESC. But before we take this thing to full ultimate spec, we need to make sure it can handle some big jumps and some big crashes, so I'll see you outside. I ran a couple of packs of just crashing it over and over from the big ramp, and so far everything's absolutely fine, and this really isn't a surprise. This truck is based on the Max platform, and the Max is one of the most durable trucks out of the box you can buy. Given the fact that short course trucks are inherently durable because that body protects everything, I suspect this truck is going to be able to handle basically anything you throw at it, short of dropping it 30 feet onto concrete at a skate park. The body, however, does not protect the inside from getting dirty, as you can see here. I also noticed that water can collect in the chassis and make some pretty deep puddles right where your electronics are. It would have been nice if Traxxas had included some drainage here. I'm excited to see what upgrades fit on this thing. They're all from the Max, so they should fit, but you never know with different vehicles, so let's find out. First upgrade we're going to try out are these Proline shocks and steel CVDs. These Max V1 CVDs are listed as an upgrade for this truck, so they should fit fine. While we're at it, let's go ahead and upgrade the rear hubs. If you like seeing upgrades, make sure you get subscribed because I've got a really cool upgrade plan for this truck in the future. This upgrade's pretty straightforward. You just take your bearings, put them in your hub, install the new axle, install the 17mm hex with cross pin, and then install the included grub screw to hold that pin in. It's not necessary to take the shocks off to do this job, but it does make life a little bit easier. A ball tip bit can help here. Make sure you use good bits. I like these MIP ones. That comes right off, and then we just install the new output cup using the included hardware. If you find that too difficult, you can remove these arms, but it isn't necessary. And then we just put it back together. So far, everything fits and looks great. Just need to do the other side. There we go, guys. I think it looks really, really awesome. I still need to do the front. I'll do that off camera. Let's move on to the next thing. Assuming it fits, we're also gonna go ahead and replace this servo saver. I really don't think this plastic geared servo belongs anywhere near a $700 RC car. Looks like the Max servo saver fits no problem, and it looks like the same servos and servo adapters that fit in the Max will also fit in here. That's much better. I'm really curious to see how a better servo will affect the handling of this truck, especially on 8S. Speaking of 8S, let's get that Max 6 in. Unfortunately, we're running into our first compatibility issue. This 3D printed mount that I use for the Max is not going to work in here because the ESC's turned 90 degrees and there's not enough room to fit this. I'm gonna 3D print one for an X-Max and see if we can adapt it. Let's see if this works. That should work just fine. We'll just attach this with some double-sided tape. That fits in there really nicely. Looks almost factory. I'm gonna finish tightening up this wiring and I'll see you outside. Cannot wait to see what this thing can do on 8S. Let's see just how much faster this thing is on 8S. Oh boy. Oh, well, she's definitely got more pep. That's the first time the body's come off. All right, one more pass. All right, let's bring it in before I break something. 55 miles an hour, that is not too bad. That's a 10-mile-an-hour increase over what we had on 6S. That being said, I'm not sure the chassis is liking that kind of power for top speed runs. Let's see how it bashes. These Proline shocks are quite a bit softer than the stock ones. I want to see if that equates to better handling. Okay, well 8S is definitely too much power for this chassis. However, I did try 6S with this Max 6 ESC, and it handled it pretty well. It's more power than the VXL 6S, and I think it's a better driving experience. That being said, this thing really can take a crash, which is good because it's gonna be crashing a lot. I put some softer springs and shock oil in here, hoping to get it to go over the rough stuff a little bit better, and it did do that, but it also made it roll more easily, which is the trade-off that you have to accept when you make those kinds of changes. Ultimately, I think this truck needs at least sway bars, which apparently are going to be an option, but they really need to come on here from the factory, and I think it needs some more shock tuning. This is really a monster truck with an SCT body on it, and it kind of feels like it. That being said, I've got one more really interesting thing to do to this chassis. Make sure you hit that bell to get notified so you don't miss that. It's coming really soon, and check out one of these videos.